Ladies and gentlemen, are we witnessing the collapse of ODM party? I'm asking that question because yesterday, serious political war erupted in ODM party. And interestingly, the war erupted within the pro-broad-based government leadership. Because for those who have been following the political developments within ODM party, two camps have emerged. The first camp supports broad-based government and is led by Gladys Wanga, Junet Mohammed, and Oburu Odinga. And the second camp is opposed to the broad-based government and is headed by Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, and that group. Of course, Winnie Odinga is also in that group. But yesterday, another political war, serious one, erupted within those who are supporting broad-based government. That is Gladys Wanga and Oketch Salah. Let me read for you what Gladys Wanga posted, the statement Gladys Wanga issued in her capacity as the ODM chairperson. And the post actually addressed none other than Oketch Salah. This is the statement on ODM letterhead. It says, the Orange Democratic Movement wishes to clarify that any activities, statements, and engagements undertaken by Mr. Oketch Salah are carried out strictly in his capacity and do not represent or bind the Orange Democratic Movement in any way. All official ODM activities, programs, and engagements are channeled through the party secretariat and are undertaken with the approval and guidance of the party leadership headed by Dr. Oburu Odinga. Two people have been mentioned there, Oketch Salah and Oburu Odinga. Remember, there's no way you can separate Oketch Salah from Oburu Odinga. It continues here. Grassroots leaders, members, and supporters are therefore advised that no activities should be arranged or conducted in the name of ODM without prior consultation and approval from the party leadership and secretariat. The party remains committed. The party remains committed to order, discipline, and structured engagement in the pursuit of its objective. Gladys Wanga, your person. That is a very serious statement, because through that statement, Gladys Wanga has warned ODM party members not to engage with Oketch Salah. And Oketch Salah fired back. I want just to read a few sections of that statement, response by Oketch Salah. I don't want to go through all of it. This is what Oketch Salah is saying. I want to speak from my heart and very clearly. Everything I've been doing has only one purpose: to popularize and strengthen ODM. I believe deeply in this party, in its history, and in what it stands for. If in that process I have hurt you, Chairlady Wanga, I sincerely apologize. That was never my intention. But I also honestly believe that ODM needs to be re-energized and refreshed. A living movement must keep moving, keep inspiring, and keep reaching the people, especially at the grassroots. Let me also be clear. The resources I've been using are my own personal resources. I've not asked ODM for money, and I have not used party funds. This has been my personal contribution in a party I love and respect. Most importantly, my commitment to ODM is not for show. I promised Baba that I would stand with ODM. I made that promise when we were in India. That promise has stayed with me. I stand with ODM because of love, loyalty, and obligations to Baba's legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you paid very close attention to Oketch Salah's statement, there is something very important which Oketch Salah is also saying. I'm talking as someone who has also been part and parcel of ODM activities. I remember in 2013 when I was coordinating the ODM Youth 2012 lobby group, we faced similar resistance especially from the official youth league of the party. So many people are never comfortable when a group of individuals are emerging within ODM party. And that can justify why Gladys Wanga issued that statement. But in this video, I want to reveal to you guys the main reason why Gladys Wanga is very angry with the Oketch Salah, is very angry with Oketch Salah over his political activities. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. You know, I explained to you guys that I was going to Ndewa, so I came back when I was very tired yesterday, so I could not produce any video, but at least I informed you guys that I was going to be out for 2 days. Ladies and gentlemen, the first reason why Gladys is very angry with Oketch Salah is because there is the fight for the people, the control of the people. Who is going to control the ODM membership? I saw Oketch Salah meeting comrades, although it was chaotic, but that turnout was so huge. The turnout shocked the ODM leadership. Because at the end of the day, if these guys were going now to start swearing their allegiance to Oketch Salah, then we have, pay very close attention, we have an NDC which is upcoming. Then Oketch Salah decides that I'm running for the chairperson or the party leader. That's going to be a big trouble. That is the problem, because they feared that if Oketch Salah continues with these political activities, he might then decide, if he falls out with the party leadership, now to bolt out with some of these people. That is the biggest fear. Number two, I think it's also intended to manage the internal political affairs within the party. I want to take you back. Raila Odinga passed on. The ODM party, in their own wisdom, decided to appoint Oburu Odinga as the party leader. After the appointment of Oburu Odinga as the party leader, it's no longer secret that the Raila Odinga family are not happy with the Oburu appointment. But something has also been happening. That the man, Oketch Salah, is at the center of all this. Because Oketch Salah threw his weight immediately behind Oburu Odinga. And that's why Winnie Odinga, the other day, for those who remember, said she doesn't know Oketch Salah. So Oketch Salah has been moving across the country. But who is Oketch Salah moving with? Apart from supporting Oburu Odinga, the person Oketch Salah is moving with is none other than Jacob Oburu. So I want to assume that either Mama Ida Odinga or Winnie Odinga called Gladys Wanga to issue a statement because they're not happy with the fact that Oketch Salah is actually moving around with Jacob Oburu. Me personally, if you have to ask me, if there's one man I don't give a hoot about, it's Jacob Oburu, because he wants to be everywhere. Sometimes he needs to give the space to the father to perform, because the president actually gave him a job. Yeah? But now, I want to assume that is the main issue. Number three is the control of the resources. Oketch Salah seemingly has enough resources, which is using on the party. That is the issue, if you have to ask me. Because people like Gladys Wanga would want a situation where those resources are controlled. That if Oketch Salah has to organize activities, then maybe Oketch Salah can decide to channel those activities through the party. Or party officials like Gladys Wanga, maybe Oburu Odinga, are made to be part of those activities. It's about the control of resources. Don't be like, let nobody lie to you. There are people who are not comfortable with the fact that Salah is using his resources. If, for example, Sefona has issues with Oburu Odinga organizing political activities and is questioning the source of those money for the campaign, what about Gladys Wanga as the chair of the ODM party? They must have those fears. And importantly, I think Oketch Sala is creating another center of power within ODM party. And it's actually outside the structure of the party. That is something which is not sitting well with the current leadership. Because we know already there's a fight. There are two camps. And then this other camp, before Burudinga established himself, then Oketch Sala is emerging, moving around. People are attending his activities. In fact, the truth is, Oketch Sala political activities are massive. That's the truth, and it's the fear that he might actually create another center of power within ODM party. And I want to advise Oketch Sala, the biggest mistake he made, and I know he's not going to withstand the pressure from this political class. These guys are going to fight him. When Raila Odinga was alive, Oketch Sala was just there. Raila would just give him the microphone to say hi, then he will sit down. Then he created that mystery. People were wondering, who is this guy? But the moment Raila Odinga died, and then these guys tried to use him, give him the microphone, that was the mistake. He should have stayed just behind Oburu Odinga. People just seeing him with Oburu Odinga, and he's not picking the microphone. But again, he has the resources, so people must eat those resources, so they must give him the microphone. That is the biggest problem. As someone who was in ODM, I know there are even times people used to bribe to be given the microphone. And lastly, it's about 2027 politics. If Oketch Sala can do all these activities, it means in 2027, either Ruto or Kalonzo or even Matiang'i can bring him on their side because he's capable. Very few leaders can actually do what Oketch Sala is doing. And that is where the problem is. And I know even within ODM party itself, there are those who believe that Oketch Sala is being used by, let's say, someone like Junet or Joho because they want to take the party. They want him to create those structures. These are stories I've heard. I don't know what you think this might take. Until next time, this is Lee McQueen. Bye-bye.